Welcome to your first looping concept video. If looping was a sport, we were talking about the very beginner stuff. What are the rules of the game, and maybe what are some of the drills we can do at practice? These are some of the fundamentals you're going to need to know. In general, these videos are going to be applicable to all loopers out there because I'm handling the basic concepts of looping. Today's video is going to dive into the software of the RC-600 so you can get an idea of what the nomenclature means. My name is Mike. This is Cuzolio. Alright, here is the RC-600, and as you can see, it's got 9 pedals that you generally interact with. While you're performing, you're only really interacting with those 9 pedals because you're standing up and you're doing other things with your hands, like playing instruments and singing. The RC-600 acts like a system, and it also has 99 memories. Within each memory, there's a whole bunch of settings you can change, and there's also 3 modes within that memory, and then within those 3 modes there are 9 pedals. Let's display this a different way. So here we go. Mode 1 on the memory 1 of the system could look like this. It has 9 pedals, and those 9 pedals can be assigned to do different things. So first let's talk about the pedals themselves and what the actual mechanics are. There's 3 ways you can actually interact with one of these switches. You could push it, which is just switching it a single time. You could hold it, which means holding it down for several seconds. You could also click it, which is simply a double click. You're tapping it twice. Well, with that in mind, you can assign 2 different things to a single pedal. You could either assign a control function, which there are many, or an assign, which there are many. The control functions usually have between 1 and 4 different functions within that single control function. An assign only ever has 1. So let's look at a quick example. The control function track 1 record play 4 has a couple different things it can do. When you push it, it will switch between record and play, and then overdub play, overdub play, overdub play. The hold action will let you undo one of your previous actions while it's playing, or when you hold while it's stopped, it will clear the track. Finally, if you double click, you will stop the track. If you want to do the same thing with assigns, you're going to need 4 assigns dedicated to this. First, the track 1 record and play, then track 1 stop. Now you can control what you want to do. Then when you screw up, you need another assign for undo and redo, and finally a 4th assign for track 1 clear. So keep this in mind because each pedal can be assigned a control function, or it could be off, and also you could assign additional assigns on top of that control function or instead of that control function. Anywhere from 0 to 16 assigns. So let's imagine we've assigned different control functions or assigns to each of our 9 pedals in mode 1. Is that all we can do? Well, no. There are 3 modes in any one memory. So I actually have 27 buttons I can give control functions or assigns to. And here's the simple truth. Modes are not some crazy way of interacting with the pedal in different ways when you're, say, in your bedroom versus on stage. Instead, it's just pages. It's just tabs. The 3 modes we have are just access to more buttons. Something else to note is that you can plug in control pedals or expression pedals. There are 2 TRS inputs on the back of the RC-600 loop station where you can plug in additional pedals. They can either be a control pedal or an expression pedal. The control pedals will have 2 buttons on it, so you can give them 2 different control functions or assigns. And the expression pedal is only a single expression pedal, so you can only give it 1 assign or 1 control function. You can plug in any combination of 2 control pedals, which is 4 buttons or 4 pedals, 2 expression pedals, or 1 control pedal and 1 expression pedal. One important thing to note is that these external pedals do not switch when you switch modes. So these essentially have 1 mode only. You can assign 1 thing to them and they will always be that way. In addition to that, every memory will give you access to 16 different guitar pedals, if you will, effect pedals. These are pedals where they will be assigned to the inputs of your looper station, your guitar, your microphone, your keyboard, whatever it may be. But it comes in 4 banks of 4. So you can only ever have 1 bank activated at a single time. And within that bank, you can choose, do I want to be able to turn on pedals A, B, and C? Or do I want to have it be in single mode, where I can only turn on A, and then only turn on B, and then only turn on C. But the RC-600 gives you this wide array where inside each one of these circles, there's many, many options and many, many parameters. In addition to the input effects, you also have track effects. It's the same exact thing, but now instead of adding the effect to your input signal, it's adding the effect to any tracks that you've previously recorded. You can assign it just to 1 track or to all the tracks. In addition, You have 16 assigned functions that we already talked about, and within a single memory, you obviously have the tempo, which will be controlling your rhythm. The rhythm will have many settings, like the variation, the style, the drum kit. And finally, if you're on a one-track looper, you would only have one track, but the RC-600 has 6 tracks. So within every one of those circles, there are many, many settings that you can change. Like, is it loop synced or not? Is it a single? Is it a multi? Is it one measure or is it 4 measures? All these settings you can control on a track-by-track basis. Now, zooming out, everything we just talked about can all be saved within a memory. This is the amount of control you have in a memory versus the system might be things like the mixer levels. If we look across all the memories, we have memory 1, memory 2, all the way up to memory 99. And every single one of these parameters can be changed within the memory itself. Let me stop right there and tell you, I don't recommend you to have different settings for every single memory. It will get very confusing very quickly, and you won't remember how to use your own pedal. So in general, you have to find a method that works for you where most of your pedals have the same exact functions on most of your songs. But let's not stop there. There's one more secret set of modes, and that is the system mode. In addition to the 9 pedals that might be assigned on mode 1 of every single memory, you can alternatively override all of them and just turn on your system mode 1. So you would have the 9 pedals would be the same no matter what memory you're in. The same goes for mode 2 and mode 3. So if you have 99 memories, within each memory there are 3 modes with 9 pedals, and the control pedals that you might have are only 1 mode. You have 31 pedals you can assign per memory. That's a total of 3,069 pedals. Again, don't bother with making every single one of them unique. So I hope that makes sense. You have a system where there's plenty of settings. You have memories, which there are 99 of them, and within each memory you have 3 modes, which just means switching between pages or tabs. And then each individual pedal can be assigned a control function, which could have between 1 and 4 various things it does, or an assign, which means it's only one thing ever. This is the basic setup for the RC-600. I hope you enjoyed it. I will catch you on the next one. We will learn about another type of looping concept.